So I've got good news for Monkey. All those people calling you a Nazi, that's racist now, Monkey.
I did not expect this for coming out of Scotland. Yeah,
No.
calling the far right Nazis is racist.
But yep.
I don't even know if that I would even count that as racist. It's just
Neither would
stupid.
I, but if we're going to play stupid race games,
It's typically
fine.
other white people calling white people. Yeah.
I don't understand what Nazism isn't a white person thing, is it?
No, apparently it's an everybody thing.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Are the Italians considered white?
Good
Yeah,
question. Well, with Maloney in charge,
Especially-
probably.
Especially in Erskine as well. Erskine is like the whitest. I don't know if there's ever been a black person in Erskine. I'm not sure if they've seen one in real life.
DJ's like, they're the master race, remember? It's like, I'm sorry, but I don't have blonde hair.
Yeah. So the full
Maybe
title.
I should dye it. I should look
Yeah.
like the guy from Die Hard 1, the blonde guy with the long hair.
So calling the far right Nazis is racist. Scottish cops tell refugees solidarity groups in Erskine. Yeah, they're pro-refugee because they've never met one. Meanwhile,
Yeah, so it's not
anti-fascist.
even refugees, it's refugee activists.
What the
Anti-fascist
fuck is a
left,
refugee activist?
an idiot.
Yeah, you're stupid and provocative.
No, but are they a refugee themselves that
No.
are then partaking in activism, or they are an activist for refugees?
That they're an activist for refugees because they're pathetic white middle-class, middle-aged mid-wits.
They're either middle class or they're students from the looks of it.
Yes.
This is very much giving me like Just Stop Oil vibes. It's either old pensioners or just people who are too young and dumb to know anything about the world.
It's people who don't have a joke. Also, I love the way they captioned it. Anti-fascist
people
left
don't have
oppose
jokes, yeah.
far-right protesters right. So I see 1, 2 cops.
And the cops are surrounding who? Oh, it's the right wing.
Yep, despite the fact that there's a whole 2 of them versus, what's that, 20, 30 midwits?
I really think you brought up Just Stop Oil there, based. I really think we should enact our plan.
Oh
Rather
yeah,
like that
with
one.
the rotten fish. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would do it. 100%.
We'll walk in to the
I would
middle of
want-
them and start eating surströmming.
No. What you do is you take the surströmming, you blend it into sort of a watery spray, and you put it in a pressurized vessel and spray them with a power washer.
I'm not going to be part of the prep for this though. I'm not.
Yeah, that
I'm not
sounds kind of
liquidating. I'm not
disgusting.
liquidating rotten fish.
But seriously, like, they would not be able to sit there. I would just have to open a can of the stuff and put it on the floor in front of them. I don't know why no one's considered just doing that. Just like, well, you want to be a fucking disruption? So will I. I'll disrupt your protest by making it stink. Anyway, I'm derailing.
But how could you tell the difference between the protesters and the surströmming?
One's actually a delicacy.
Erskine is outside of Glasgow, which is the domain of fish lady folks. What's a fish lady folk? Is this for
Oh,
Celtic or-
sturgeon.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You mean previously arrested on suspicion of stealing money from donors, sturgeon? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so it's a Glasgow overspill. So it's going to be primarily white, working class, poor working class people. It's not like these people aren't skinheads or anything like that.
So Tristan's got an interesting suggestion. Look up thioacetane. You don't need a pressure washer. Just open an ampule within 100 yards of them.
Yeah, but I'm going to bet it's a
Interesting.
lot more expensive and harder to get than a can of surströmming.
Can I make it at home, and can I easily distribute it without it being linked back to me?
Also, is it completely illegal to possess, unlike surströmming?
Yeah, me opening a can of food is not an illegal act.
Especially if you stand there. Really. We need to get Tosti to go to one of these protests and sit there eating it out of the
that'd be
can.
amazing. Does he eat it out the can?
I have no idea, but he's the only one who'd stand a chance.
I mean, it's meant to taste really good, but just smell awful.
Yeah, apparently it tastes far better than it smells, though that's not a challenge also, apparently. Calling the far-right Nazis is racist. Police Scotland officers told refugee solidarity groups in Erskine today. A campaign in defence of refugees has them moved to Glasgow River Hotel in Erskine against who's this? Oh, Morning Star. So they're communists.
Oh,
okay.
Morning Star. Yeah, Satan. Satan has written his article.
Actual communists as well, I would bet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, fascist, patriotic alternative / Homelander. Yes, that's right. Being pro your country is fascist.
I'm so confused by how Nazism is racism, because I thought Nazi was a political ideology. Nothing Like, yes, there is a racist aspect of it with the God's chosen people, as it were, with the
Yeah, well,
what are they fucking called?
I reckon that their logic is that you're only using it to describe white people, therefore it's a targeted attack on a specific race, therefore racism. The whole thing's bullshit.
Sure, but it's the German people, not the white people. It's
Yeah.
such an Americanization to like put like racism, like to think that the primary thing about the Nazis was racism. Like, okay, of course the Holocaust was horrible and fueled by race, but like every other country that Hitler attacked was white people.
Yes.
They invaded France, they invaded Poland, they invaded Russia. Like, he didn't give a fuck about white people.
What color were the Ashkenazi
It was the German
Jews?
people he wanted. Yeah.
What color skin color were the
Ashkenazi, yeah.
Ashkenazi Jews? Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, but
it's such an Americanism.
exactly, and that's exactly the prime example of your middle class, middle-aged, middle white, midwit.
I think Callum makes a good point here as well, that Nazis and fascists aren't the same thing. If they were, then Africans and Arabs are too.
Wow.
Just like, if you're that there is a constant conflation between the fascism and Nazism, but there is a distinct difference. If I remember correctly, Nazism was the power was meant to go to the state, or no, that was fascism. The power was then to the race when it came to Nazism.
Well, they're all just different types of socialism. Nazism is race socialism.
Right.
Fascism is state socialism. Communism is
yeah.
just socialism.
calling everything fascism is just Frankfurt School nonsense because they didn't want to sully the name of socialism.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely.
So the Morning Star are apparently just blatant.
Yeah, according to Whoopi Goldberg, World War II was just a lot of white violence.
So I'm just going to scroll through the. It literally says the peace and socialism. They are communists. What a fucking shot.
We know.
Speaking of the devil, so
why do you think they would associate with the Morning Star? Because they are literally evil.
Yes, literally. So the police officer's remarks were apparently prompted by a fascist complaint of being called a Nazi by a protester who had been subjected to a torrent of abuse from the dwindling band of hate mongers in attendance. Police approached the refugee supporters and told them to refrain from using the word to describe the fascists, knowing that's a racist term. Well, these are the rules you dickwits asked for. Get what you fucking deserve.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any sympathy, I'm afraid, because although it's fucking stupid, it's just like you wanted to police what we could say, and now you're being policed.
Yep. Oh, the Nuremberg judgment, which we were all taught about in school, was that Nazism and fascism is not an opinion. Yes, it is a crime. I Julie was supposed at every time. I don't think you were taught. Last time I checked, the Nuremberg judgment is not taught that way in any school anywhere except maybe Germany.
I have never heard that Nazism and fascism are a crime. I've heard that they were an ideology that then committed crimes, but that is a big difference and a very, 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 very shallow understanding of the Nuremberg trials.
Yes.
It's a very shallow understanding of common sense. I mean, what these people were protesting immigration, right?
They're protesting for more of it.
How is it even racist to protest? Like, we don't want Europeans either. There's too many people.
If we want immigrants
coming too quickly.
If we want immigrants, we want to have our pick of the immigrants. We don't want to just accept any old fucking cunt. A bit like a job interview. I'm not going to let some lazy, sleazy fucking wanker come in and ruin my company. Why should I want to do the same with my company, with my country?
What's that, Crow? You wouldn't hire someone who's fleeing a conviction for double murder?
No, probably not. I might, hire a hot Ukrainian woman. Who knows? I'm kidding.
Yeah, we don't want the Ukrainians either. There's too many people coming too quickly, and we have no idea what to do with them.
Well, that's it. If the immigration...
There's nothing to do with wanting to put them in camps or anything.
I've quite literally had this conversation with my business partner where I've literally said, I will not hire anyone who has their pronouns on their fucking CV. I just won't touch them.
Yep.
Yeah, they would create a hostile working environment for everybody else.
And what are they going to deal with? Middle-class old people and then tell them how privileged they are?
Yes.
Fuck off. I'm not waiting.
Yeah, that'll go
that.
great for your company, won't it?
Mm.
Just what you need, a communist working for a cleaning company going into people's houses to tell them that they're oppressing the proletariat. I'm sure that would go over really well.
Yep.
To be fair, some of my clients are very lefty. I have had to withhold having arguments with them about. But one of them said, "Oh, their son was saying about all the British flags on Regent Street and how racist it was, and that we were living in Nazi Germany."
And then it
And I
was
was like,
fine the
"What
week
the
later when they
actual
replaced it with the
fuck?"
racial pride flag.
Yeah, yeah, and then they started trying to talk to me about how we're the most racist country and we encourage slavery and stuff. And I was like, you don't even know your own fucking history? What's wrong with you? Have you stopped reading The Guardian, for fuck's sake?
If you were born in the 90s, you've literally paid taxes to pay off ending the slave trade.
Yep.
But no, they're not very clever. And we know that when they start talking about Nazism and fascism. And if Nazism and fascism are crimes, well, Stalin killed a lot more than 6 million.
Yeah, every time I try and bring this up to any commie, they are in complete fucking denial, saying, oh no, capitalism's been existing for longer, so it's killed more people. More people have died under capitalism. I'm just kind of like, what the fuck are you talking about? Most of the world was feudal. Capitalism's relatively new.
Well, they also don't understand that capitalism is just a useless fucking term in general, because capitalism refers to exchanging something of value for something else of value.
For a token,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
With money being the fluidity between them, yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Read the
capitalism.
Wealth of Nations. Just read the Wealth of Nations. It's literally the founding document of capitalism. Not founding document.
Yeah, but it's
the best description of
capitalism is a useless term because bartering is capitalism.
Yeah,
because you are exchanging.
It's done in a different way.
You are exchanging 6 fish for a chicken. So you
the
have
difference
something
between
of value.
bartering and what is it? It actually has got a proper name, having a third party with a currency. I can't remember the term off the top of my head, but all it's doing is creating common capital, so people have less time trading. They can be more direct and more quick with their trades.
Literally, all what they call capitalism is you take bartering, and then you have someone come in and go, well, you originally had it was gold based, so then you have someone turn around and go, what if instead of having to carry 100 chickens over to your house to exchange for the 1,000 fish you've got, what if we just exchanged these small tokens made out of this precious metal called gold, and that way, rather than carrying 100 chickens in my back pocket, well, in my pouch because pockets hadn't been invented, I could just carry a small pouch full of gold.
Yeah, Tristan's he's not got the term I was looking for, but he does say in quotations, resolving the double coincidence of needs, which, yeah, absolutely, that's all it is.
If I remember correctly, Adam Smith compared it to the example he used was a cow and somebody who sells salt and somebody who sells farmyard animals. Like the person who sells farmyard animals has no need for a cow's worth of salt. So therefore, these people can't trade with each other. If they can't trade with each other, then they can't eat.
To be fair,
they can't
though,
trade with gold, and people that they do want to buy things off can be useful.
To be fair, though,
right.
To be fair, though, in the time when people were trading cows and salt at the same time, you had a use for a cow's worth of salt.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, I get where it's coming from.
I'd be going around.
That allows people to trade.
And it allows you to trade.
I would just be going around making pillars of salt with it, just to be like, oh, God's been here.
But it basically lets you trade in units smaller than a whole animal. Right? If you don't want to buy a whole chicken, maybe you only want to buy some eggs or something. You can trade whatever for whatever. But it's literally just an intermediate transactional material with a commonly agreed value.
I will agree that there are problems with capitalism, especially with the various different kinds of subcategories, like, for example, managerial capitalism, because managerial capitalism is very utilitarian. It gets rid of any sentimentality. It's all about constant profit, constant growth, which is at the expense of humanity.
Yeah, but I would call this. I wouldn't call this capitalism, though. I would call this corporatism, which is ironically a lot like fascism. That's what the fascist manifesto was about, right? Controlling everything through the corporations.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard different terms for it, and managerial capitalism is one of the ones that I find I like most, because it's pushed generally by the managerial class of people, which is why it's managerial class, because they're trying to basically give themselves a constant position within society by being, oh yes, well, I make the numbers go up, so you definitely need me, and I'm going to continue making the numbers go up, so you definitely need me. So they're always pushing to be relevant and needed. Whereas in reality, they are not really creating or doing anything.
If you enjoyed this segment from the Sons of Shadowley podcast, please consider joining us live exclusively on rumble.com/c/Sons of Shadowley. A special thanks to our Subscribe Star supporters who you can currently see scrolling past on your screen.